Saltburn is Emerald Fennell's newest film. Is it any good? Let's find out right now.
Lots of people get lost in Saltburn.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As I said in the intro, we're going to be reviewing Saltburn today. Just came out. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like on this video. I'm going to read a quick plot synopsis just so you know what the movie is about. A student at Oxford University finds himself drawn into a world of a charming classmate who invites him to his eccentric family's sprawling estate for a summer never to be forgotten. Alright, as I said in the intro, this is Emerald Fennell's second movie. Her first movie was Promising Young Woman. And I kind of want to give you some thoughts about Promising Young Woman and what I thought about that. I thought Promising Young Woman was a great movie, a very good looking movie, and the directing on it was pretty great. But I think that this Promising Young Woman had a pretty bad ending for me. I thought the third act kind of lost the message of where we're going and just went like a whole 180 in the other direction of what the movie was actually going for. But overall, I think the movie was pretty great, and I thought Emerald Fennell was actually a great director on that movie. It just, the ending just didn't work for me at all. So I kind of had, I had I don't know, I had kind of low expectations for Saltburn, but man, was I surprised with this movie. This review is going to be pretty interesting because I'm going to try not to spoil anything for you guys because you got to go in blind for Saltburn. I really do recommend this movie a lot, but go in blind on it. There's a lot of twists, a lot of weird, crazy turns in this movie that I wasn't expecting, but I was just eating the whole movie up because of how absolutely insane and weird it is. And I can even say I'm a weird person, but this movie is weirder than me. It's absolutely just, I don't know. It's kind of like a fever dream of what is happening in this movie. It's a very evil movie, which we'll get to in a minute. But, I will say that Saltburn, it just worked a lot more for me than Promising Young Woman. And I think that just has to do with how much I enjoyed the third act of this movie and how much, I think the story was a lot better in this movie. And I thought the whole ensemble that they went for here was really great. Everyone pulled their weight. We're going to get to that cast in a minute. But Emerald Fennell's directing here is a lot better than Promising Young Woman. Even though her directing Promising Young Woman was pretty good, her directing here was a lot more flawless, a lot more fluid, a lot more smooth in my opinion. It really felt like, it just felt like just a smooth motion picture going along. There were no bumps in this road, I would say. And I think her writing might need a little bit more work on her movies because Promising Young Woman, the writing wasn't the greatest. This one I thought was actually pretty amazing, but it wasn't perfect. A little bit of touching up on that. And it needed a little bit of work, as I said, but it's just a huge upgrade for her on a directing standpoint compared to Promising Young Woman. So I'm very happy for her here. Very happy that she has another amazing film on her belt. And I will say, make sure that you are of age when you see this movie because it is very explicit. This is a hard R movie. Another hard R movie this year. We've had a lot of hard R movies this year, but this one is it goes there. Let's just say that there's a decent amount of nudity in here and a decent amount of bodily fluids being thrown around into the mix. So there's just a little bit of a warning on that. Just be careful who you watch this movie with because you don't want to watch it with anyone you don't want to watch it with. Just be careful on that point, but it is rated R, so just watch out for that. And our cast here, as I said, it is a stacked cast. We have Carey Mulligan coming back for another Emerald Fennell movie because she was the main star of Promising Young Woman. She has a small role here, but it's a pretty memorable role. Her character is really weird, kind of crazy at times. Barry Keoghan is the main star of this movie. He plays Oliver Quick. Very happy that he's getting main roles now, bigger roles. I'm just very happy for him. He was in Banshees of Inisherin last year. That was my favorite movie last year. Such a heartbreaking role. I absolutely loved him in that. And then I actually watched The Killing of a Sacred Deer, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. And he was terrifying in that movie. An absolutely terrifying character. He was my favorite part in Eternals. I think he is just an amazing actor and an easily likable actor, even if he plays like a really sadistic and evil role. I think he just, he captures the audience eye and he just has a way with acting that I think he outacts like everyone on screen when he's on screen with them. But Jacob Elordi is also amazing as Felix. Jacob Elordi is having a great November. He was in Priscilla, which he was great in as Elvis. Now he's in this, one of the main stars. I think he holds his own against Barry Keoghan. When both of them are on screen, they have amazing chemistry going on there. It's really great to see them both on screen. They both I think they both practice a lot and both probably hung out with each other, so their chemistry works a lot. I'm really liking Jake Valordi a lot. He's really doing great outside of Euphoria. I was kind of worried about him, in a decent amount of way because I thought he was just going to be stuck in that Euphoria show. But him and Zendaya are doing pretty well outside that show, so good for them. Rosamund Pike is also in this. She's one of my favorites. She does good at playing evil characters. Her character here isn't evil. It's more of just a laid back kind of. She's the mom of the movie, so she's pretty laid back here. She was pretty good, and Richard E. Grant is the dad in this movie. And I thought he was good. He was really funny in here. He had a lot of funny moments. He has one big serious moment that I think he nailed in the movie. And Archie Madekwe is also in this movie. Gran Turismo kind of guy, Archie Madekwe. And he is really great in this movie. A lot better in here than he was in Gran Turismo. I don't know if that has to do with the directing or the writing compared to this in Gran Turismo. But I thought he was a lot better here than in Gran Turismo. But he was great in everything. I thought he was really great here. Did an amazing job. The whole cast, just a great ensemble here. I loved everyone here, and the style and cinematography of this movie was just breathtaking. I'm more of a style guy when going into a movie. Like, if your movie is actually bad, but the style and cinematography look great, then I'll probably give your movie a positive score. But if you can nail both, it's going to get a really positive score. And this movie nailed both. The style of this film is I just love the style. The whole look of this movie is crazy. The Saltburn estate is huge. Just a mighty big house to just look at. Mighty big mansion. I just loved it. The cinematography is done by Linus Sandgren. He's basically the cinematographer for Damien Chazelle, did Babylon, La La Land, many of those films, and his cinematography is some of the best. I think he's like top 5 right now, top 5, top 10 cinematographers working right now. I think he just does a great job with his work. I just can't wait to see what he does next. I'm not sure if he's going to be doing another Damien Chazelle film next, but I'm really open to seeing everything that he does, because just the way he lines up the camera, the way he shoots things, especially in this one might be some of his best work. Just every shot here just looks like a painting, especially how it has that 1:3:3 ratio. It just looks so good. Just the grand scale of it, how he's shooting the whole Saltburn estate is really something to take in. I think he did a great job with it. And I'm going to say, I might be the only one saying it, but I think Saltburn does deserve some Oscar nominations. Even though I don't think he's going to get any, I can be realistic in that. But if it was my Oscars, which I might do a video for because it could be pretty fun, I think, it's a pretty odd movie, as I said, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was also a pretty odd movie, but this one is very different. It's not going to get a lot of those main audiences because it's very weird. It goes to those places that Everything Everywhere All at Once didn't go. And I think it does deserve some Oscar nominations, just a couple though. I wouldn't give it a lot. If I were to give it some Oscar nominations, I'd probably give it cinematography. The editing was really strong in here, so probably editing, probably not production design or costume design. Even though those are great, it doesn't really stand out as much as some of the others right now. But the editing was really great. I'm not really big on looking at editing, but I love the editing here. And Barry Keoghan as best actor, I think he's like at my 6 or 5 right now. I think he does deserve a nomination. His role in here was really terrifying, but it's a great transformation for him. And it's kind of a different role for him a little bit. And, the character goes on this evil kind of trip for me. I really did love the character, and I love Barry Keoghan in here. And as I said, it's a very evil film. I love the gradual slip into the more dark side of the film, because you go from a chill comedy at just the School of Oxford, then you go to Saltburn, and then it turns into more of a dark comedy, freaky thriller. So I really did love how they really went with that. Start calm, then go to thriller, then go to dark comedy, because dark comedies are some of my favorite. I love that genre a lot. And as I said, this is shot as a 1:3:3 aspect ratio, the Academy aspect ratio, as some like to call it. And I just love this aspect ratio a lot, and I cannot wait for it to be done for Poor Things just in a couple weeks. I cannot wait to see that. I think this movie and that are going to have a lot of comparisons. Going to see how they shape up against each other. But it's really something that helped me get lost in Saltburn. Like I said, the movie and the whole huge estate are just, it helps you get lost, because the aspect ratio, the whole Saltburn estate takes up the whole aspect ratio, because it doesn't go all the way to the right and all the way to the left. It goes up and down all the way. I really do like that a lot. I think it works a lot for this movie as itself. And when you're just going through this whole big mansion, you can just see everything. It's very interesting. Love how it's shot. The ending and needle drops here. There are a lot of unexpected and really funny needle drops here. I was really loving it every time a needle drop happened because you didn't expect it. It was just insane every time. And the ending is probably not going to work for a lot of people. Just like this movie, I think this movie is going to be pretty divisive for a lot of people. The ending, though, I really loved. It wasn't afraid to go to that place in this ending that I will not spoil for you guys. But I think that when it went there, it did a great job with it. And I think it succeeded at what it was trying to tell you, what it was trying to show you, what the whole story was building to. And I just think that it worked a lot. It's an evil, delirious ending that I'll be thinking about for a long time. And the song that played through it is just going to be in my head because that is such an odd song choice, but it just works a lot when you think about it, when you see the scene for a couple times. Because I've seen this movie twice now, and I think it works a lot better on the second watch. I just think it looks amazing. I think it's an amazing story, and I just love the dark comedy type of feel for it. So Saltburn, you guys got to go see Saltburn. Just go in blind. That's my only, thought for this movie. Go in blind. Just watch out. Don't get anything spoiled for you guys. Very explicit movie. Watch out for that. But man, I had a fun time for this one, even though it is a big and evil film. The cast did a great job. Cinematography and style of this film, such a beautiful film to look at. So Saltburn, I'm going to give it a strong 9 out of 10. I absolutely had a fun time with this film. I loved it a lot, even though it wasn't a fun film, I would say, but it has crept into the top 10 of the year for me. I can say that. So it is worth your time to go see that this Thanksgiving week. Go out and see a movie this Thanksgiving week. There's a lot to see. Let me know, did you guys watch Saltburn? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure you like this video. It helps a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.